What's up guys, it's me, Lili, flyguy, and I'll be introducing you into Sweet Talks. But before we get started, make sure to comment down below and let us know that you're subscribing. Let's see who the guest is. The guest is, drum roll please. My dad!
Hello, son.
Hello.
You okay?
Yeah.
I'm nervous, I am.
I know.
Are you nervous as well?
Yeah.
What are you nervous about?
I don't know.
You don't need to be nervous, it's your show.
I'm nervous.
God, okay, cool. So, thank you for having me, first and foremost, on my son's show. Gosh, a big boy now. Go on and talk to me.
Yeah, so can I ask you a few questions?
Of course you can.
What was it like when you first see your mum?
Are we going straight in like that? Yeah? Okay. When I first met your mother, when I first saw your mother, I just thought, who is this beautiful girl in front of me? Couldn't believe it, she was beautiful, but then I was also really, really nervous, like, because I thought to myself, I was watching people speak to her, and she was just telling them to clear off and leave her alone. So I thought, well, if I go and talk to her, she's going to say exactly the same thing to me. But she didn't. She actually had a good conversation with me. She even took a picture of me with a, you probably don't know what a disposable camera is, do you? So it's these cameras that we used to get from Boots, like a shop called Boots, that when you take all the pictures, you get them developed and then you throw the camera away, you don't use it after that. So that was amazing. Mommy actually took a picture of me and I just thought, oh my gosh. But yeah, I just thought she was beautiful, man.
What was it like when you first seen me?
When I first saw you, I was very, very emotional. Yeah, I was very emotional because I couldn't believe, like, you had my face, my mouth, my nose, my ears, and I was just like, this is like a little mini me in my arm. And you were helpless, so not like now when you've got your own talk show and eating all these sweets and stuff. Those times there, of course, you were just a baby, so after you let out your little crying and you wanted to do your little sleep, I put you on my chest while the doctors and nurses were dealing with mommy still. And you were just lying there and I just felt so emotional, like, I'm going to look after this little boy forever I am. It's crazy.
Yeah. And like, was you like happy crying?
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, I didn't do my crying until I got back home because I feel like when I was at the hospital when you were born, I didn't even realise how big a moment it was. Like, it was crazy. But when I got home and I thought about it, sat down and went, oh my gosh, we've just had a son. That's when I got like a little bit teary-eyed. I think I did get nearly a little bit teary-eyed when like Nanny Sylv came to the hospital and held you for the first time, and I was a bit like, wow, I'm looking at my mom who used to hold me, holding my son. It was a little bit emotional still. But you wouldn't know any of this because you were fast asleep. Just been born, fresh. Your skin smelled fresh.
Yeah, like what was it? What was it like?
What do you mean? Like just having you there?
Yeah.
It was different because now there's another person to look after. At first it was fun because you forget that these things are forever and then you're going to grow and become this. I mean, look at you, this big Lili the flyguy with his own show. And I look at you still and I see the little baby that was about that big that I used to hold with his head in my hand here and your legs didn't even come all the way down to my forearm. And I used to just hold you with one arm like this. And now, if I tried to do that, you'd snap my arm in half. Only because you're big and muscly. Yeah, show me them guns. Show me them guns. Where we going? To the gun show.
Jeremiah?
I was a lot younger when Jeremiah came on the scene, and so that was probably a scarier moment than when you came on the scene, and that was only because I hadn't ever asked myself whether I was ready to be a dad, whether those times there I wasn't even married to Mummy, so we were together but I wasn't married to her, so I wasn't even like 100% sure like, oh, how are we meant to, do we stay together? And
yeah, like then would you like still like that when you went to that party and stuff?
yeah, you're right, it almost felt like all the way back then when we went to that party and I was like just uncertain about certain things, like, oh, I mean, I love her and I think she's beautiful and I think she's wonderful, but now that there's a child involved, is that going to change the way we see each other? And all those kind of things. I was a little bit nervous, but you know what? Because of how amazing your brother was as a son, he kind of brought us together and made us look at life. And we had to grow up quickly, which is called maturing. Remember that word, maturing? So we had to mature very quickly, me and your mum. But when we did, your brother paved a fantastic way for when you came along. So by the time you came along, I'm not saying that we knew what to do, but it felt a little bit more comfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what was it like? What was it like when you first seen your dad?
When I first saw my dad.
Looked at the way that we live.
Oh gosh, that was, how many years ago was that? I can't even remember. That was years ago. I've always seen him. Even though he wasn't always around, I've always seen him. But you mean like when I first realised that he was my dad? Because often you just feel like it's just who's this strange guy?
I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
But I was young, so I didn't even know, like, I didn't know what a dad was.
Yeah, that was me and Jeremiah.
Yeah, explain what you mean.
Yeah, like, I was like, who is this guy?
I mean, he could be walking down the street, I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
But I know that he's gonna be living with me, but I don't know who her brother was. But when I found out who her brother was, I was like, okay, so now I'm gonna speak to him, and then we got friends and friends and friends and friends, and then we got down and down, and then friends and then down, and then like keep on arguing and then not arguing.
Yeah, you had like but that's normal, son. That's normal in any relationship.
Up and down days.
Ups and downs. That's normal, especially with brothers. You're going to have up and down days, but one thing that you can guarantee about your brother is that he will always have your back, and I know that you will always have his back as well. So it doesn't matter that you have up and down days, as long as when either one of you is in trouble or needs the other one's help, you're always available. Yeah.
Well, Dad, you know this show's called Sweet Talk, so of course we gotta have sweets. So, what do you want? One of them sweet?
Yes, please. What colour should I go for?
Any colour.
What's your favourite? Do you know what your favourite is like this?
Purple.
Mine's a purple. Yeah. Come on, then, let's both have a purple one then. Do you like the dark purple or the light purple? See, you like the light purple, don't you?
I like dark too.
Do you like
I
dark
both of them.
Okay, cool. If you have a light one, I'll have a dark one then.
Okay.
Ready? Cheers. Right, what are these sweets called? Starburst. These are Starburst.
Yeah, they used to be called fruit something.
How do you know that? They did. They used to be called Opal Fruits. When Daddy was younger, you was never even thought of those things. Opal Fruits, and they were juicy. Man, used to eat Opal Fruits and dribble because they were so full of juice. But these ones, I don't know. We'll have to see. Do you want a hand?
Yes, please.
Oh, I can get the wrapper.
Thanks, Dad.
I'll get the wrapper.
So, what was your favourite sweet, Dad?
When I was younger, well, you know what? They don't make them anymore. It was a sweet called Fizzy Jerks. They were called Fizzy Jerks, and they were like, like refreshers. Imagine sour refreshers, but they dissolve on your tongue and they get fizzy. You know, like what's that
pot.
Like popping candy. So you eat it like a refresher, and it would dissolve on your tongue, and it was in a black wrapper with a little orange and green sweet on it, and it just said fizzy jerks on the side. They were the best sweets ever. But then I used to like, do you know what dweebs and nerds are? Not in real life, like the sweet dweebs and nerds.
I've heard of it.
Like they come in a little box here, and you have to lift the lid, and there's different flavours, and you put them in your mouth like they're little balls. You've had them before. Remember I shake them into your hat like.
Yeah, the one in the green box.
Somewhere in the green box, yeah. I think those are the nerds, like green apple flavour.
And then like there's this like golden part inside.
Yeah, different little sections, yeah, and you open it up and then you shake them all in, oh,
Yeah, like
and your mouth full of them. Yeah, those as well.
like those was it the sour ones?
You can get sour ones and normal ones as well, but they were dope. They're my favourite. So yeah, really enjoyed them.
So like, what got you into music?
That's a very good question. Nanny Sylve. Nanny Sylve got me into music because that woman cannot go 2 minutes without singing or humming a song. So all I've ever known from her was a very, even before I was younger than you, is that when you walk, when you talk, when you cook, when you clean, always have a song in your heart, have a song on your mind. Even if you're making the song up and it doesn't exist in real life, you know Nanny Sylve just makes up these melodies. She just walks around doing that all the time. So I started doing that, but then I developed a love for music because then I wanted to because I wanted to understand.
Sweet bubble.
It's not sweet, but you can't blow a bubble out of it. But yeah, I wanted to understand why the music made me feel that way. And so I started to like learn how to make music and create music, and before you knew it, here I am, doing music full time as a career. So, you know that Daddy likes music, but we know that you love music as well, and your brother, and you're a little bit neat with the lyrics, aren't you? Like you can freestyle. So if Daddy gives you a beat, you're gonna drop some lyrics, drop a little something, yeah.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe? All right, do you want like a hip hop beat like?
You all know that I like sweets, but I don't like streets.
Ooh.
Because of what I mean. Because I don't want you to teach, yeah? I eat sweets in my back, sweet talks, because I don't care when I have. Because I don't want you to have smack. Because I don't want you to eat sweet back. I'm back in the road because I want pros. Because I'm down like a mold. Because I'm quick, you got moles. Because I don't want you to do it, I'm a pro.
That was sick! That was sick, you're the king!
So thanks Dad for coming on my show, really appreciate it. And I want to say to the audience, thanks for watching guys. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Make sure to subscribe to my dad's YouTube channel and subscribe to my brother's Odd Priest, Man Like Jobby. See ya. Peace.
Peace.